What is up, besties? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Scotty Holiday. I'm a queer creator and a huge Star Wars nerd, so if you're into either one of those things, please consider subscribing for more. With the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer confirming another Order 66 flashback, I'm once again reminded of the question we're all dying to know the answer to: who saved Grogu from the Jedi Temple? There's a lot of popular theories out there, from Barriss Offee to Jocasta Nu and even Mace Windu, but I don't think it's actually any of them, and in this video I'm going to be going over who I think could have saved Grogu. Before I get into my theory, please make sure to like the video and leave a comment letting me know who you think rescued Grogu from the Jedi Temple during Order 66. If you haven't already, please make sure to also check out my Mandalorian Season 3 trailer breakdown. I'll put a link in the cards and the description below. Now, let's start the video off by going over what we know so far. In Episode 5 of The Mandalorian Season 2, Ahsoka Tano reveals that Grogu was raised in the Jedi Temple on Coruscant and trained by many masters. She says that someone took Grogu from the temple at the end of the Clone Wars to hide him, but from there, his mind becomes dark. Then in Episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett, we learn through a vision that Grogu was actually at the Jedi Temple during Operation Nightfall when Anakin Skywalker and the 501st Legion clones stormed the Jedi Temple. And now, in the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer, we see a new scene inside the temple of 4 Jedi in front of a door with their lightsabers ignited. Though the door seems sealed, there's sparks coming down the middle as if someone or something is cutting through. A lot of people, including myself, assume that the 501st clones were the ones cutting through the door in this scene, but since the trailer's release, I've started hearing people speculating that it may actually be Anakin Skywalker, especially since Hayden Christensen filmed Order 66 scenes for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Now, the most recent, and what I honestly think is the most interesting theory, is that the person behind the door could actually be the person who rescues Grogu, and I think that person could be Jedi Master Tera Sinube. Tera Sinube was a Causian Jedi Master who served the Jedi Order during the High Republic era until the Great Jedi Purge and creation of the Galactic Empire. Master Sinube sat on the High Jedi Council for a time before the invasion of Naboo, and later served as a Jedi investigator and youngling instructor at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. Eventually, Master Sinube was killed and entombed on the Fortress Inquisitorius on the water moon Nur. As seen throughout the Clone Wars series, Master Sinube was very active in the training of Jedi younglings in the Jedi Temple. Because of his age, we know that Master Sinube would have been present at the temple on Coruscant the entire time Grogu was there, especially since by the time of the Clone Wars, he rarely, if ever, went on off-world missions, and because of this, he was more than likely present at the temple during Operation Nightfall, during Order 66. Throughout his tenure in the Order, Master Sinube was also close with Master Yoda, referring to him as an old friend. Though he was the Grand Master of the Order, Yoda also trained many younglings in the temple, and I would imagine he would take special interest in Grogu since they were both a part of the same rare species. Given Yoda and Tera Sinube's friendship and both having an active role in youngling training, I'm sure they spoke about Grogu at some point. Master Sinube could have even trained Grogu at one point or another, since Ahsoka revealed that Grogu had many masters. Even if Master Sinube never trained Grogu, I'm sure they crossed paths at some point. Like, how could you miss Grogu? I imagine any Jedi who interacted directly with the younglings would have taken interest in Grogu, especially due to his ties to Yoda's species and just being so adorable in general. Now, let's talk out of universe. Outside of the Jedi Council seen in the prequels and Ahsoka, Tera Sinube was one of the only other Jedi given a lot of screen time within the Clone Wars animated series. On top of that, he was also one of very few Jedi to not wield the standard blue or green lightsaber blade, with Dave Filoni referring to Master Sinube's blade as very light blue or white. Having a unique lightsaber color definitely makes a character stand out from the other Jedi, and way more special in my opinion. I mean, just look at Mace Windu and his purple blade, or Ahsoka and her white blades. Dave Filoni has even suggested Ahsoka's white blades may have been influenced by Master Sinube's blade color. Ahsoka and Master Sinube even have a whole Clone Wars episode together where he serves as a mentor, helping her locate her stolen lightsaber in the Coruscant underworld. He continues to serve as a mentor to Ahsoka throughout the Clone Wars, taking an interest and following her Jedi training. Dave Filoni clearly likes Tera Sinube as a character, since he's paired him up with Ahsoka not just in the Clone Wars episode, but again in Tales of the Jedi, and if Dave Filoni likes the character, he's gonna find a way to expand their story. And speaking of, we technically got Tera Sinube's first live-action appearance in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Seeing Master Senube entombed in the Fortress Inquisitorius was honestly heartbreaking, but a little part of me was still happy to see him included in a live-action show. He's really the only Jedi we know and can confirm within the Fortress, and I have to imagine this was done on purpose. After the series aired, Kouji Tajima, a senior concept artist at ILM, even posted their full live-action Tera Senube design for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Twitter, confirming the character in the series and giving us our first look at his live-action design, which I think looks amazing, by the way. I may be grasping at straws here, but I can't imagine they would come up with a fully rendered live-action design just for one short scene, especially since he's completely obscured in the amber casing. I really loved this design and the inclusion of his pure white lightsaber blade and cane, and it's something I would really love to see used in a future live-action Star Wars story. And this now brings me back to why I think Jedi Master Tera Senube makes so much sense to be the one who rescues Grogu from the temple. Not only would this make sense for the character based on his portrayal and close relationship with Jedi younglings in Star Wars media, but we also have a fully rendered design ready to go, and it seems like Dave Filoni really likes the character. The last thing I want is for Grogu's rescuer to be some new character made up solely for the purpose of rescuing Grogu from the temple, only to die afterwards. If you couldn't tell by this point in the video, I love Jedi Master Tera Senube. He's become one of my favorite Jedi since the Clone Wars animated series, and it's not just because of his cool white lightsaber, but also his relationship with Ahsoka Tano and his overall characterization. He's like a quirky old grandpa who teaches you lessons, but will always stand by your side no matter what. A couple of years ago, if you asked me if I ever expected to see him in live action, I probably would have said no. But after seeing him in Kenobi, and then again in Tales of the Jedi, I definitely think our chances have increased, and because of this, and due to his connection with the Jedi younglings, I really think this makes him the best candidate to rescue Grogu from the Jedi Temple during Order 66. So what do you think of my theory? Do you like the idea of Tera Senube rescuing Grogu, or did you have somebody else in mind? Let me know down in the comments below, or hit me up on Twitter so we can chat about it together. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my content going forward. I'll be putting out weekly reviews for the Mandalorian Season 3 episodes as they air, and you definitely won't want to miss those. Also, if you haven't already, please make sure to check out my Mandalorian Season 3 trailer breakdown in the link in the description below and on the end screen of this video. To keep up with all my Star Wars content, consider following me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at ScottyHolidaySW. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.